Don Shula Show, brought to you by the Bakers of Folsom. #1 in bakery products for over 60 years. You congratulate the world champion Miami Dolphins, football's #1 team. And by the people who fly more people than any other airline in the free world but one, Eastern, the Wings of Man. And now for the last time this year, we bring you the man of the men who brought Miami the Super Bowl. Again named Coach of the Year with a record-breaking season's performance, Miami Dolphin head coach Don Shula. And now your Channel 10 host, here's Joe Krogan.
Are you all here? We wanted the whole town for this one tonight. Are you all present? You better be. Congratulations, Coach Shula, and the guests you have with you on something that just ain't ever been done in football before. The long winning streak, unparalleled, and the Super Bowl time. Just formally congratulations.
It was a great climax to a tremendous season. And when we were 14-0, we were very happy, but we know that 14-0 wasn't meaningful unless it's 17-0. And now we're 17-0. And I brought something that I'd like to have our fans share with us, the World Championship trophy right here. This is the Vince Lombardi trophy that was presented to me after the ball game, our football team, I should say, and our organization. And that is what it's all about right there. You go to war at the beginning of training camp with the idea of capturing this trophy at the end of the year. And 26 teams compete, and it boils down to 2 in the Super Bowl, and then there's only 1 winner. And we were the team that walked away a year ago without that trophy, and we were soon forgotten.
Right.
And our whole resolution this year was to somehow get the opportunity to get back into the Super Bowl, first of all, and then to come back with the trophy. And so here's some people that were very instrumental. Defensively, Manny Fernandez, and what a
Hey, horse, what a game, what a game.
Grab it over. Manny, you did a little celebrating on the plane, huh?
I just got a real bad cold, Coach.
He yelled a lot on the way back.
Manny said he shut the phones off today and just relaxed.
He really Congratulations, number 75. We're going to see a whole lot of that number in the films coming up.
And then our quarterback, Bob Creasy. Bob, it was just great to have you back in action, and I know that you really enjoyed being back in there and contributing the way that you did in the ballgame.
No question about it. You know, a lot of people asked me all week, am I ready? And I was ready to play, and mentally and physically, and I'm glad that we went out there and won the ballgame.
All year long, Robert, they've, or maybe all your career here, they've said the emotionless Bob Creasy. But I know that on that platform last night when you came home, you were quite taken with the reception that was there, and I'm sure with the way things have gone for this team this year.
Well, you know, I'm emotional to an extent after we score a touchdown, but when we score a touchdown, I'm worried about scoring the next one, you know, because the game's not over.
Forward-looking, yeah.
When the game's over with, I'm emotional to an extent because we won the ball game, but we haven't won the whole thing. And this past weekend, we won the whole thing, and I probably got more emotional than I ever have, so.
Well, you're not emotionless. You and I did a show together, and I heard you say some awful things when we weren't on the air. You get all aroused about the way I talk to you.
Coach, that was a fantastic welcome, incidentally, at the airport when our football team got in. Just all those fans that wanted to share in our happiness, and we really enjoyed having them come out and speaking to them, and certainly appreciate it. And when all that was over, and I finally got my luggage and everything put into the car and got home, I pulled into my driveway, and all the neighborhood was there waiting out there, and what a fine group of people out there that, again, wanted to share in our happiness, and we really, that lasted a little bit longer into the night. So it's been just a great day, telegrams and phone calls from all over. And
from Ted Agnew, I guess.
Well, he called before the ball game and wished me well and wished our football team well, and then, of course, I talked to the president yesterday morning, and he congratulated our football team on the accomplishments. And
it must be like stepping in brand new snow. Nobody's ever been there before where you guys have gone, all of you.
I think this is why it's so meaningful to us. And when you experience the frustrations that I personally have experienced, and then our football team experienced last year, then victory becomes that much more meaningful.
Right. Classy job, gentlemen. Thank you. We're going to take a look at you in action in a moment right after this timeout.
Part of the good life is having a friend to brighten the hours, the time you spend sharing ideas, chasing the sun. Wholesome bread is part of the fun. The bread with all the good things baked in. is a picnic, life is a ball. Take the time to really live it all. Have a nice day, there's more to come. Wholesome bread is part of the fun. The bread with all the good things baked in.
Does anyone know who that is?
George Washington and his family.
And what about his wife? Does anyone know her name?
Martha. See the president. Wow.
Do you know when he was president?
The Civil War.
Anybody know how he got a beard?
The girl wrote to him and said he'd look good in the beard. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain immutable rights. Among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
For us at Eastern Airlines, taking a third-grade class from Atlanta to discover their country is one of the most important things we do. And because people are important to us, more people fly with us than any other airline in the free world but one. Let us be your wings. Eastern Airlines, the wings of man.
Each week on this show, we used to predict who was going to win the Monday night games. At the very start of the season, I predicted that you had to win the first one over Kansas City to win them all. Okay, that's a flimsy bit of business to employ.
Let's get on with the show.
But look, one mention. We've had a lot of calls, and I'm sure that you and Bob Greasy especially would like to acknowledge this, that the job that Earl Morrow did, and he can't be with us and won't be with us for a while, but I'd like both you gentlemen to say something about Earl.
Of course, we wouldn't be competing, or we wouldn't be the world's champs right now if it hadn't been for Earl. And probably the darkest day is the day that Bob went down in the San Diego game. But then Earl jumped right up and got in there and helped win that football game. And then each week the confidence built in him, and he got better and better and stronger and just was fantastic. And then, of course, when Bob got healthy, I had the decision to make, and I really didn't have a decision until Bob got 100%. But when he did get to 100%, then I made the decision to go with Bob. And of course, Earl has just been fantastic through the whole thing.
How about that, Robert?
Well, my feeling after the ball game was kind of mixed. I was very, very happy about the whole thing, and especially for Coach Shula, because he's had the ball club pointing for this one thing, a victory in the Super Bowl all season, and this was the only ball that he wanted, the game ball, and he finally got it. But I was very happy for that, but in the same mood, I was very upset because of the feeling that Earl had done so much for the ball club, and yet in our biggest moment, in our biggest day, he didn't play at all. But there's no question that the fact that we wouldn't be competing in that ball game were it not for Earl, and I think everybody knows and understands the contribution that he made this year.
Well, we wish he and, what's his wife's name? Well, on the moment of delivery, she's going to have a baby up there in Michigan. That's why he's out of the
Jane,
job.
it is, yes. Right.
Okay. Hey, let's look in on the highlights. Now, let's wheel out the first quarter of the Super Bowl, and we get a punt right away, Don. And
it's where they tried to knock the ball out of Kindig's hand, and Jim Langer, Cooch, Norm Evans. Right.
If you can get typed, it seems to be that you like to get the ball to kick.
We like to get the ball in the end zone.
Right. That's how you like to get typed, right? Okay. Back in a moment to talk about a lot of things, including the Redskins and their funny picks on this game after this timeout.
Nothing's too good for my dad. That's why I brought her here to McDonald's. For the best cheeseburger ever. The quarter pounder with cheese. It's not skinny. It's nice and thick the way my dad likes it. And it's got 2 pieces of cheese. It's really a neat thing. And that's the way it should be, because for my dad, it's nothing but the best.
You deserve
right, Dad?
a break today at McDonald's.
Some think of us as loaners, and for a pretty good reason. We can give you auto loans, home improvement loans, boat loans, FHA loans, construction loans, pool loans, get away from it all loans, or even just a loan. The best reason of all is that our rates are the lowest available. See the loaners, the Dania Bank, Boulevard National Bank, and Marathon Bank, serving Broward, Dade, and Monroe counties.
Let's clean up the year-ends mail. That's supposed to look like you for Mrs. Peck. That's her husband. This is a sympathy card to the Redskins. This is the lady who picked the game 14-7 Miami, Mrs. Kerrigan. This is a letter that says you don't win the big ones?
Is that from Rosenblum?
Yes, you did, didn't you? And this says, thanks for not losing your poise in Washington to me when all those guys were picking the Redskins and you were the only guy who picked the Dolphins. And by 3 touchdowns I picked them. Shall we parade through the third and fourth quarter highlights? You all ready?
Right.
Let's give it a go.
Go to the game or something would be pretty tough to live with. But Garrow is off the hook, and Garrow will not throw any more passes from what field goal.
What will he do with the football in the future?
Garrow will fall on the football in the future.
We got a crowd in the backdrop here. And he is no threat, Robert, to you. And
He came over after the game, Coach, and wanted me to help him in the off-season in case that ever happened again.
Hey, look.
We'll teach him to fall on the football.
We just sit in the glow of this wonderful win, but we got a lot of more points we want to talk about, including how do you think you're going to beat the All-Stars? But we'll be back in a moment after this time.
To the people of Eastern Airlines, flight is more than planes and airports.
I thought you made all those phone calls. That's what happens when you go through me, Billy. I'm not going to go with them. I'd rather walk.
Could you page Mr. and Mrs. Juarez, flight 900 from Mexico City, please?
Mr. Juarez, please come to the passenger service desk.
Welcome to New York. I'm Jenny's brother. The wedding's going to be beautiful.
Why don't you go if you'd like, Lincoln?
If there's anything you need, don't forget to ask the guys down the store.
Flight is the way we bring each person as a person to share and understand the world he has in common with someone else. Maybe that's why more people fly with us than any other airline in the free world. But one, Eastern Airlines, the wings of man.
Sharing your fun in the out of doors. This is part of the good life and enjoying the good things like wholesome bread.
Life is a picnic, life is a ball. Take the time to really live it all. Have a nice day, there's more to come. Wholesome bread is part of the fun. The bread with all the good things baked in.
Coach, a lot of questions and hurried ones at that. Your coaches, have a number of them been approached to go to other pro teams?
The phone call started today, and there are a lot of teams that, of course, need coaches, head coaches, and they're interested in some of our coaches. And they've done an exceptional job for me in the 3 years that I've been down here. And if I can help in any way to help them get a head coaching job, I'd be very happy to be a part of that. Because this, I think, is what it's all about, moving up through the ranks and getting the opportunities. And I have some people that are highly qualified.
How about the draft? What will you seek in the draft?
Well, we haven't even talked about that right now. But, of course, we don't have our first pick, and we draft last in the second round. But we don't really care about that either. And we're just going to try to get the best football player and just have him come to camp and compete and hopefully make us a better football team.
Trades. Several of your players seemingly have expressed the hope that they will be traded.
Well, some of the younger people are frustrated that, of course, haven't played. I know Jim Delgazo would like to get an opportunity to play, and he feels stymied behind Bob and behind Earl. And then Otto Stowe was disgruntled and expressed the desire to be traded to another football team. But these are things that if you can make a deal that you think can help your football team more than the people that you have, then you won't hesitate to make the deal. But you can't make a deal just to accommodate a football player's wishes, because the thing that's important, first of all, is your own team, and you do everything with that in mind first.
Did you design the three-back offense because you had the three guys here, or did you go with it because the three guys were here? Which came first?
Well, because the three were here and they showed that they were highly qualified. And then the way that Merck this year demonstrated that he can play more than just as a spot player. And I think that everybody now realizes how important it is that everybody chip in and help, because if you didn't have either a Kick or Merck, you'd be looking for either a Kick or Merck to complement the other. And we have the perfect situation right here.
Okay. We want to thank the sponsors of this, the Don Shula Show. They've been here a couple of years now.
Right, and it's been enjoyable. I've really enjoyed working with you, Joe, and with our fine sponsors.
Eastern Airlines.
Wholesome bread.
Wholesome bread. Now we want to take a shot of Manny Fernandez's Super Bowl ring of last year, which a lot of people have been asking about. And that's the ring that went to the second place finisher, right, Manny?
Yeah, that's the one.
But the one that comes out for the champion now is more ornate than that, perhaps?
Yes, the big ring is what I think all of us want, and that, when you talk about that symbolizes the winning of the Super Bowl, and this is what I'm sure that we're going to do is pick out the best, biggest, best-looking ring possible.
Out to there. Fellas, Bob, you come off this season, what's up ahead for the Dolphins? What is there in the way now? I mean, life doesn't stop. Football goes on. What do you and Manny do now in the way of personal goals in the future?
I think first the thing you do is you enjoy this for so long. Last year it was an emotional thing that you were down about. This year you're very up about it, and you certainly haven't used up all your emotion or your enthusiasm right after the game. I'm enjoying this the last couple of days, and I'm going to enjoy it for 4 or 5 months. And I'm just going to relax, and next year when we come out, we're going to try to win every ball game again, just like you said, Joe.
Manny, same?
Yeah, I'm just really enjoying this victory. I know how bad I felt and how long feeling lasted last year, and this year I just hope the good feeling sticks with me just as long.
I didn't want to prod you guys, really. Enjoy. Coach, how about you? How about a summary for the whole season and for the show?
Well, you have to take your hat off to the football players for the way that they've dedicated themselves to being world champions. And we went to camp with only one thought in mind, and they wondered about our emotion or lack of emotion after we won some seemingly big ball games, but we saved it all up for the big one, and then we let loose after that tremendous victory, the climax of the season, the Super Bowl win.
Whew. Whew. Everybody sigh. It's all over, and it all ended beautifully, just like in a storybook, except all the sweat and the blood and the tears were these guys, and we congratulate you all.
Thank you.
This has been the Don Shula Show, brought to you in part by the bakers of Wholesome, #1 in bakery products for over 60 years. Congratulating the world champion Miami Dolphins, football's #1 team. And by the people who fly more people than any other airline in the free world but one, Eastern, the Wings of Man. Don Shula's Wardrobe by Jordan Marsh. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our last show of the season, but rest assured, we'll be back with the Dolphins again next year. We thank Wholesome Bakers and Eastern Airlines, and one last time, the world champions of professional football, our own Miami Dolphins.